Chris Lovell here with another edition of Patriot Talk. Second little edition here with our favorite Morgan Glaspie. We had some cross country talk about what did we decide about 6-7 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we're in her favorite season, basketball season. Colta Coon's taking care of us as always. Gene Messer Ford Lincoln sponsors these shows. We certainly appreciate that. Weather's changing. It's basketball season. You're already kind of into it. I tried to catch you before the season started, but our schedules, and now you're kind of now you're into this because you've already we've already had some games.
2 games.
Some games, and gonna have another one recently, and then you've got some tournaments coming up and all that stuff. So, is it weird that you have seniors?
Yes, it's weird, but it's also nice because you're just kind of seeing everything that we've had headaches over.
Are you saying the headaches are over?
No, they're not over. But just the leadership and the culture and accountability. And, honestly, my dad and then my college coach always told me that I should know what they're thinking before they say it. And they kind of do now. Just very naturally.
So this is the way that they said, okay, if you're coaching them right, then that they should know,
they know
what the expectations are and everything.
If practice isn't going well, they can read my face and usually make the change themselves.
You don't really hide your emotions very well.
Nope.
There's some officials out there that would probably say that. Yeah, that's funny. Seriously though, so if I'm counting this right, you've got 5 seniors. I know one of them kind of dinged up right now in Ava, but just take me through like that group and how different they are, or the kind of their journey, and then you've kind of bookend here because you've got a couple of freshmen that have come in that I think are playing a lot right now, and so just you got a 12 players on your varsity team, and you have 3 teams. This is just like a couple years ago. You're like, you can't even see this far ahead, and it doesn't look anything close to this, but this is weird. Yeah.
We got our Fungo pictures back last night, and I was looking at the program picture, and it just kind of makes you happy because, you get, when I was hired, you see this program, and, I had these goals and this vision for what I wanted it to be, and it just kind of has all come full circle.
Yeah.
You're starting to see it at every level. And so looking at that picture and seeing all 3 teams and just remembering what we started with, and 3 competitive teams, our JV's really salty. So I don't know. It just kind of made me emotional to look at it because it's just kind of everything you've worked for and prayed for, and pretty grateful.
Do you go back and because you guys were 16-14 last year, 8-2 in the district, right? But do you go back and look at games last year and like the losses or the win? Any of that to like once it's far removed, like recently? Do you do? Okay.
Yeah, last year we were 1-9 at one point, and
I remember this.
We got written off pretty easily, but they were going through the gauntlet. They went through a stretch of Canadian, Panhandle, Clarendon, Seminole, West Plains, Slayton. And it was just 3 weeks of just brutal competition. But that's how, those seniors, and that's just how special this group is. And I'm going to be really sad when this specific team isn't together anymore, when we lose the senior class, because you would have never believed we were 1-9. It's hard to get teenage girls to understand the vision and the overall goal, and they did. They knew that. I told them at the first of the year, there's zero excuse you should not win a district championship this year. And 1-9, they believed it, and they knew that to beat these teams, you have to prepare with the best to be the best. And kind of flipped a page. Clarendon was ranked last year, and that was kind of when we turned a corner. We beat them at a tournament, and things just kind of started to come together, and they really saw their value. And they're a pretty competitive, gritty little team. And so this year it's been nice because I think they've figured that out, and there's a lot of buy-in from each of them, so it's nice.
Yeah, because sometimes your best coaching is when things aren't going well.
Yeah.
And it's hard for everybody to see that. It's hard to enjoy it, but it's like, sometimes, the result is not what it's about, even though it's all anybody wants to talk about and focus on.
Well, and it's not fun for them.
Sure.
I see it. I'm an adult, and I've been through it, and, just grew up in those situations where we were a little bitty 2A school, and I think one time Dad took us to a canyon shootout, and it was us, Canyon. Coronado girls were ranked 5th in the state, and South Lake Carroll. And we were like, what are we doing here? But so I've always just believed that. But they're young, and last year we didn't have seniors. So to get them to understand and be mature enough to really, just be okay with that and come in the locker room and still look at positives when it's just a loss on the scorebook. It's a loss on our record. It's a loss on our record. But we would always talk about so many wins, too. Like, we can't just pay attention to our record right now.
Yeah.
So they matured a lot, and they were really, really good.
And it's process. Hard with the way society works.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that's just like a whole thing. Not to make you sound old or me sound old, but that's just we're all fighting that in some ways, especially when it comes to sports. Speaking of scheduling, how intentional were you about this kind of thing with this year's group and putting them, building confidence, trying to throw them in the deep end of the pool? Like, what was the...
there's a little more balance this year, and honestly, not purposefully. We hosted our tournament last year, and we got into a situation a couple of months ago that it just wasn't going to make. And we could have played with 3 teams or 4 teams, but I think everyone knows my personality, and if I'm going to do it, it's going to be the best it can be, and it just wasn't going to be. So we got out of it, and we had moved our West Plains. They were competitive the past few years, and we actually moved that game to our tournament. And so once our tournament didn't make, we lost that game, and I had to fill it with Brownfield. Okay. And then we lost to Lubbock Christian. They couldn't play this year, and so we lost that game. So when I was rescheduling those games, I tried to be mindful about what would be best for them, because it's okay for people to feel that high sometimes, because they have felt that low so many times.
Yeah.
So
as long as they can handle it.
Exactly.
And
no, they know.
As long as it doesn't lead to overconfidence and all that stuff. Take me through because basketball is like a lot of these sports now. There's a lot of year-round scenario, and there's a lot of stuff you can do with them in the summer, team camps and all that stuff. I think you saw some good things from them in team camps this summer.
Yes. We didn't go undefeated, but we had a great summer. We go all the way through June, and they know that if they'll work hard for me through June, I give them all of July off. Because, team camps are heavy in June. That's when everything kind of goes. So we went to Lubbock Christian. We went to a Grapevine tournament, kind of showcase.
And can you be a part of this?
No.
Coaching-wise?
I cannot
But
coach.
you can watch?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And
because they kind of changed the rules on that a little bit, like in some of it, but yeah. Okay.
And then Tech. We went to Tech.
Okay.
And
so you loaded them up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they played. I mean, they were tired, but I always kept, if you'll make it through 3 weekends, you can have a break. So they did well, and you definitely saw the highlights of how special this year could be.
Good. Tell me about so let's go through your senior class here. So I've got Abby, Bailey, Alyssa, Ava, and Ellie. Ava, obviously, I think a bit dinged up, and that's unfortunate because she's an awesome kid, and she's like a glue player and an energy player, and does all the hard stuff.
Well, I've told everyone, I've really told our younger classmen, like, I'm really sad that you don't get to experience this with Ava, because she is that culture setter. She talks when she's supposed to. She's electric. She can guard anybody on the floor. And
willing to do it.
She's a silent assassin, too, because she may not score the most, but if she's going to shoot 4 threes, 3 of them are going to go in. Okay. So we miss her big time.
Yeah. Your other 4 seniors, though, like kind of your who you've built the program around.
Yeah,
really.
No, they're special.
Yeah. And then you've got a couple of freshmen in Micah and Presley that have kind of come in and are playing a lot right now. Their talent suggests it, but like it's been a kind of a nice addition. You're starting to get some numbers, and like, okay, now we got some talent, and now let's see. So take me through that. Really
have, the senior class, they... Abby was district MVP. Alyssa's gotten some accolades, and is usually high point for us. And Abby pretty much averages a double-double most of the time. And Bailey is also that kind of silent person. But I always tell my assistant coaches, you in the game, you're like, I never yelled at Bailey, because she's just, if you say to do it, she does it exactly how you say it. Juniors, I have a talented junior class. Reagan Wren is back.
Yes.
She's one of our, just kind of makes us go a little bit. and she's going to have a big year. She has put in a lot of time this summer, and, you know, she was a big volleyball person and kind of saw her potential in basketball, so she's bought in a lot. You know, it's in her blood, too. So, you know, Avery Atchison has come along. My sophomore, I have a little sophomore who was the only freshman on varsity last year, and it was a little bit of a shell shock for her, but she has also put in a lot of time since the moment she made varsity last year, and it shows. She had a big summer, and I think she's going to have a big year. And then the 2 freshmen are honestly kind of those missing pieces that we've been good, and we've been so competitive, and our chemistry has always been there, and they just kind of fill a spot that we've just missed with this group, a true point guard. You know, Abby and Reagan have always been my point guards, and now they can use their strengths because I have someone to fill that role.
Can play off the ball a little bit.
And, you know, Presley coming in, and she's a really good shooter, and just when people drop on those players that they know we have, she's going to be able to hit an open shot. So, you know, we've talked about having more depth and really emphasized it, and they've really heard me. And so, you know, we have a 9-man rotation right now, which is big for us, and everyone's really contributing. And so we've seen a lot of good stuff from a lot of them.
It's good to have numbers.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's, as opposed to not. Your district, you it's the same district as last year. It's kind of but they've added the friendship school there. Yeah, which is going to be interesting, right? Mm-hmm. You're smiling. That's going to be interesting for all sports, I think. Do you have a feel for how that should go, or how people will think it'll go, like the district race, and like who's kind of the...
You know, Estacado's getting a lot of love. They were picked to win our district, which offends me a little bit. Okay. So, you know, they kind of... I keep up with their scores every night, and I just can't tell yet. When we start scouting them, of course, but, you know, Memorial's going to have a run at it. Yeah. Most of their varsity was on Friendships varsity. Okay. So they have a good little talented squad, and
it's gonna get spicy.
Oh, it will. Yeah. But it's good for us. Yeah. That's what you do it for.
Yeah, so. That's right. I've asked that when I've done these with the other basketball coaches in our district. I'm just always curious because you never get like I don't really have an opinion. What is your opinion on zone defense? See, there you go.
I grew up in the very top of the Texas Panhandle, and let me say it this way. Okay. My father played for Mark Adams.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in zone defense.
So, that's a good... Yeah. I am just a man-to-man. I think it's gritty. And, you know, I really think, and this is not to offend anybody, but it's hard to teach. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of effort. And I think that's why people don't like to do it anymore, because if you do it the right way... we're on year 3 of still perfecting it, and that's one of our strengths. We're going to defend.
Man-to-man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a zone, but it's my last resort, like if we're super outsized or things aren't going well. I believe in it. I believe in the work it takes to do it. I love the way it looks when it's done correctly. I think our kids do a great job of it. You know, we may get beat, but we're going to hold the other team to 30, 35 points. So that's usually our goal, but I'm just not a zone person. No, but you know, it's crazy because when my dad coached boys, he ran 2-3 zone most of the time.
Well, it's just funny because like you never get, there's no middle ground there. People love it, hate it, believe in it, or we do it a little bit if we just have to. But it's just it's fascinating because it's like a bad word to some people. Yeah. You know, or can be, right? Oh, it's lazy, you know. Yeah. And then there's very active zone defenses. Other than the final score, what is most important to you when you watch your team? I mean, and you could say effort and all that stuff, but like other than the final score, like if your team does this, like I'm good, you know, and don't say play hard because I mean we want that too, but other than the final score, like what's most important to you?
The chemistry.
Okay.
You know, it's a little bit different because I also think the dynamic of basketball has changed in the sense of too much dribbling. A lot of one-on-one situations.
Oh, that's the summer stuff.
Yes.
And it's the AAU stuff and me, and the sharing the ball and
So one of the things we highlighted Friday was we had 20 assists as a group. Okay. And you know, I counted probably 6 possessions. We dribbled 1 time or less and scored, and just kind of finally pinning at the right areas. But I just really like to rewatch our film and see, not only that, the chemistry of it, but the unselfishness of it doesn't matter who scored. But we moved the ball around, we did what we were supposed to, and we did score. And, I mean, you can see it, like...
And trying to teach kids that is tricky
it's hard.
Yeah.
But they believe
Good.
it. So I think that's one of my biggest deals is, did we look like we played together?
Yeah, because dribbling is arguably one of the laziest or most pointless moves in basketball.
Well,
it's when
you can train.
it.
I mean, you can do all the fancy stuff, but you just have to be able to, like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to dribble at the purpose, but otherwise move the ball.
Yeah, that's right. Get rid of it. Okay, so your tournament schedule, you mentioned, let's see, Lorena tournament. Yeah, Lorena tournament. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then you're doing Brownfield. You mentioned, and you're going to do the Cap Rock.
Yes.
Okay, those are fun weekends for your kids too?
The Lorena tournament.
You mentioned. Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but you mentioned that one of the tournaments you went to because you felt like you were way outmatched, but see, you've never forgotten it.
Oh yeah, no, it taught us, and Canyon kind of became, because that's when they were winning all their state championships around that time, and Nicole Hampton was playing there, and so that was kind of like a good push for us. Like, that was our goal. Was we're gonna beat Canyon finally, and we played them probably 3 times a year between the different tournaments we were in, and so I always remember it. But Lorena usually has some 4A teams from different regions. And so I had seen a couple of coaching friends that had gone to it, and I love the Waco area. So it'd just be different. We'd see different people. We'd play different people. We're going to stay in a really cool, they use it for a retreat Airbnb.
Okay.
So going to have some team bonding stuff going on. So it'll be really cool. Brownfield, we were going to travel again that weekend, but we actually start district that Tuesday. So I didn't want to go road tournament, and then open with Friendship Memorial at Memorial. So we're going to go to Brownfield, which is still going to be great competition. It's going to be, we'll probably get some wins, but Dalhart's there. They were regional final team last year. So there's still going to be plenty of teams that'll give us competition. So I thought that was a good one to, stay local, but still get some work out of it.
And then Cap Rock obviously is, that's always.
And, we got invited to to a big one in the Metroplex. I just, Lubbock does a great job, and I love Lubbock. And, I think it's really important for, our teams to showcase what Cap Rock Tournament does and is about. And, I'll just never forget, we won the Cap Rock Tournament my junior year, I guess. And even when my brother played in the championship, bringing one of the bikes that they give to the special needs kids. Yeah. My best friend's little brother, we brought one home to Spearman, and it was halftime, and we were all sobbing like we were losing by 40. But I just think it has a good purpose, and I like to support them, and they do a great job.
Don't forget where you come from.
Exactly. Know your roots.
Yeah. And you get to host.
Yes.
Be a part of
So
your gym and all that. Is it, by the way, speaking of looking how your program has grown, you've got 3 full teams now, and you've got a 12, member varsity team and all that stuff. Are you excited about what they're building out there in front of the school?
Yeah. The arena.
Yeah, that's right. Like an in the round, competition gym and all that stuff. I mean, that's got to be exciting.
It is cool because all these teams that come in, and we hosted a mega scrimmage, and they just, every time they walk in, they are just fascinated at the facility of Liberty, and we get compliments on it all the time, and they are mind boggled when I'm like, well, out these doors, the arena, and they're like, the what? And I'm like, yeah, these are practice gyms. So they're pretty mind blown at what we have, what we get, what we get to be in every day.
Fortunate. Tarleton's finest right here, by the way. Yes. I love that you love your alma mater so much. What's your favorite thing about coaching basketball?
Oh.
Yeah, like what's your, you said that's why we do it. You want to find out how your kids compare to the best. You want to get them to a point where they know what you're thinking and all that stuff, like we said. But what do you get out of this? Like, what is your favorite thing about it that you sink your teeth into?
Joy.
Okay.
Well, and honestly, like, I'm a tough lover. Sometimes too tough. Even with like my husband, he always tells me that, don't be a tough lover right now. And I'm like that with the girls, but I just think that there's so many rewards that I get to see that they don't even get to see. You know, when I don't, just even in the game sometimes when they do little things that, you know,
Like,
whether
oh,
it's smiling on the
they're
floor or
listening.
hitting shots or they don't even see it,
Yeah.
but you see it and it makes your heart happy. And just, you know, watching the seniors, I've been with the seniors since they were sophomores and they're a headache, but I love them dearly. And so I would say for me, you know, there, I mean, you could talk about it with X's and O's and the reward I get from that. And, you know, I really like to see the product we've put on the floor and how much we've grown. But I just find a lot of joy in getting to be a tough lover for them. I mean, everyone knows me and has watched me coach, so it's not like I'm a softie. But
But yet you kind of are.
yeah, yeah, I'm a softie.
Yeah, you're just everybody knows what you're thinking, right?
Yes.
Without saying anything a lot
But
of times.
just
Yeah, so
that experience with them and just getting to see them grow up and do things that
So what I hear you saying is that your favorite part of that is the team,
yes,
the camaraderie of
yes.
of the team, because when teams break apart, it's sad, and you don't have a team.
We talk about it all the time. And I think that's just really the experience you have too. Because if you talk to some people, they didn't have that experience. But I'm thankful where I went to
You
school.
did, yeah.
I would go back in a heartbeat and play with the group. I had a big class. I had a really competitive class.
Yeah.
I've said, I mean, in anything we did, whether it was class rankings, our basketball team was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our class rankings. Whether it was, you know, they were outstanding runners. 4 of them went inside to do cross country or track in college.
Okay.
We were good at basketball. I mean, it was cutthroat, but there was never any drama because we just loved it.
Y'all pushed each other.
We wanted that, and so
Yeah.
I had that experience. So I want them to have that experience, and I tell them that all the time. You're never gonna get this back. You will never get this back.
Yeah.
You'll never get these feelings back. You'll never get this experience back. You know, even the community supporting you. That's one reason I love Spearman and I love Tarleton so much is the support I had from who surrounded me. And still, like, watching these little babies that were, you know, my dad's last senior class were kindergartners when we got there, early pre-K. So just getting to see them grow up and
what people don't realize sometimes too is like you can go off and play in some colleges and all that, but sometimes smaller colleges or junior colleges or whatever, you don't get the support at those places that you do like in high school.
no.
And people don't get it. It's not super glamorous and all that. So okay, so you've got tournaments coming up. District starts right up the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's stay healthy. Let's keep them being about the process
Yes.
and all that, and keep buying into team and not and let's hope we get some small victories along the way so you keep smiling.
Yes.
That sounds
Yeah,
good?
yeah. I like it.
There you go. All right. Well, you were sweet to do this, but good luck.
Thank you.
It's a busy couple of months coming up for
It
you.
is. It
Yes,
is.
in your house. But you would have it no other way. You would have it no other way. She's tough, but she's awesome. She's Morgan Glaspie. Okay, that's going to do it for another Patriot Talk. I appreciate Coach Glaspie always. She's one of my favorites. And go watch them hoop. We're going to try to carry some of these games when we get to district on the radio. I haven't sorted through all of that yet, but most of the home games should be streamed, I think, on the LCISD YouTube channel. So we certainly appreciate that. Thanks to our man, Colton Coons, for taking care of us on this show. For Morgan Glaspie, for Chris Lovell, this has been another edition of Patriot Talk.